Another day, another epic harvest shot.
Oh yeah, and this one was quite epic.
This is not even everything that we harvested in this video, but we did something a little special for you today.
Yeah, we went POV and we showed you guys exactly how we got our hands into the garden to harvest this bounty.
So with us, you will get your hands literally dirty in this video and follow two gardeners with over 15 years of experience on exactly how we grew the crops you see here, all the different intricacies that you'd only pick up if you were listening to our minds as we were gardening. That's what we did. Cultivate that like button, and I might even send you a sexy little potato if you're lucky. And let's get into the video. We're gonna kick it off in the potato patch, which is half harvested, Jacques.
Oh yeah.
This section gave us over 100 pounds alone,
Yeah,
off
I
of
could
about
not pick it up.
maybe 10 potatoes. So we've got this half over here. We planted these in ground in the standard method. By now, hopefully you've seen our potato growing experiments that we've done. We found that if you want the simplest harvest possible, 4 to 6 inches deep, forget about it.
Just plop it in.
Plop it in. So let's plop them out now and see what we get.
All right, let's see what kind of potatoes we got in here.
Okay, Jacques, I'm gonna go in with the fork straight out of the gate.
I'm going hands in.
You're going hands deep?
And I got a yellow boy right here.
Okay, oh.
You got something good?
Oh, look at this guy right here.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's not bad. So with these potatoes, you can wait even longer. You see how we've got some green foliage here? You could wait, Jacques, and let these completely die back, but we want to clear the space out, and I don't think we're having a problem with size here.
I got a handful of yellow potatoes here. Not the craziest yield, but I know this patch has got some yields in here.
I feel like the yellows just don't yield typically as much. Oh, dang, I stabbed one.
Classic.
I really thought I would have avoided that. Usually when you harvest, you want to come out about a foot off, and then you won't stab it if you're harvesting with a fork at least. But I'm not displeased with this yield here, Jacques.
Yeah, I'm starting with my hands, and then I'm doing a second pop to check for any leftover taties.
Yeah.
So I got a couple little taties right here.
Wow.
We're gonna keep those.
Just pulled this guy out of the ground. See, you can see what happens here. Look, even just my finger moving pulled a little bit of that skin off.
The skin hasn't set yet.
So it hasn't fully set. So you could wait a little longer on these potatoes, but we need to get some more stuff in the ground here. So we're gonna pull it early.
Ooh, that is so much fun. It's just so exciting getting your hands in the dirt and pulling up.
Whoa, dude.
That's a big potato.
That's a machine.
All right, looks like
Oh my.
you got me working over here in the small potato patch.
Wait. What is going on here? Look at that. It's
Are
raining.
those purple?
They do look, maybe these are the Sarpomiras. This year is easily the best potato year we've had.
These are actually beautiful. So this is for sure the
Gorgeous.
Sarpo, the pinkish one.
Yeah.
This might be an Adirondack blue. We might have to cut one of these open.
Oh,
and
you
take
know
a
what?
look.
I think you're right. Look at this one here. See that blue?
Oh yeah.
That's the
it.
Adirondack. I've never grown Adirondack blues this big.
I wonder if they taste good.
We'll have to find out. You can go subscribe to Epic Homesteading. Look at that, there's the seed potato. So you can tell, because of course it's
Oh yeah, it looks disgusting.
rotted like crazy, absolutely disgusting.
So right here you could see some potatoes on the surface. This is what happens when they don't get buried. They eventually will turn green from the sunlight, and some amount of green might hurt your stomach a little bit, but it shouldn't kill you. So
Yeah.
we're gonna keep all these.
We're gonna keep them, but I would say good rule of thumb, especially with this many, Jacques,
Yeah.
I'm gonna bias towards not eating the green ones, even
Since
if
you
they're a
have
little
plenty.
green. I just got hundreds, right?
Whoa, this guy is far from the
I wish
plant.
this was a potato. Can you imagine?
So right here, this one looks like it might have just grown, probably like a secondary regrowth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull it anyway because we're resetting this patch, but I'll probably get a bunch of little potatoes. And honestly, ain't nothing wrong with a little creamer or tatey.
See, look at this little tatey bombs. Oh, these are
those are
actually
berries.
potato berries, yeah.
Maybe set those aside.
This would be interesting.
Little
so
keepers?
there will be seeds in here, guys. So we can actually ferment this off and try to grow our own variety.
I feel like there's a deep potato hiding here, but I'm gonna let it live.
We're gonna find out soon enough.
Oh,
Oh,
there it is.
You got it.
That's deep.
That's very deep.
Who knows how many we're missing then?
We're missing a lot if you just found that one that deep.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
All right, why don't you pop me with the fork right here?
Yeah, I got you.
A lot of potatoes,
Oh,
so watch
no.
out. Oh, direct spear.
Oh my gosh, here, little dinner.
Little. Oh, that one's gone.
All right, Jacques,
I think.
let's stack them up.
Let's get them. I have to say the onions this year have been incredible. Mine
Yeah.
are big, yours are gigantic, and they just look perfect.
They look so good. The spacing on them is incredible. We'll talk about that.
Cheek to cheek.
Cheek to cheek, and you know that they're ready when the neck breaks, especially for these bulbing onions. So that's just basically saying this is ready to go. We can cure these onions, which we'll talk about, but I think we got to get to harvesting because some of these are ready to go. Some of them still need to grow.
Yeah, so we're just pulling anything with a broken neck.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna start here and I'll show you what I mean by broken neck. You can see this one here is very, very broken, right? Like it's like, look at that, it just came right out of the ground. So we're in a good spot on this one. The reason why it matters is because when you cut this to preserve the onion, to cure it, you don't want any moisture leaking out, anything coming in. So this broken neck or dried section is really important. So we're gonna pull that guy out.
All right, I'm here on the opposite end. Kevin's down at the other side. And here's what we got. We've got these onions cheek to cheek, as I mentioned. And what I mean by that is that the spacing was so perfect that they actually reached each other. So that's how you get the optimal size onion without wasting any space.
So this guy here isn't actually broken, and it's quite a thick stem there. So I'm gonna make sure that I leave this one until it dries out a bit more. But look at that tight spacing here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out this middle one, or maybe even this one here, because it is the most broken.
Once your neck's folded over like this, no more nutrients from the top are going down. So that's safe to pull.
There's something so satisfying about just pulling. Look how easy it comes out. Just, okay, well.
Right there's an example of why you shouldn't pull on the neck like that. I just snapped this one.
That was the one example of it not going well, but look at that. It's crazy you can get that much growth out of something where the root system is just barely big at all.
So the right way to harvest instead is to take my hand on the outside of the onion and just pull it towards me. That should pop it out just fine. And I have zero chance of breaking the neck that way.
Did you rip a neck off?
Yep.
I did too.
Yep.
It's kind of fun,
Yeah, it is fun.
but it's not ideal because then your cure doesn't go as well.
Exactly.
So thinking about spacing, what we've done here is we basically spaced them one radius. So there's this big sphere, right? So the diameter is all the way across. So it's two radius, so one diameter of how big the onion could grow apart from the next center. So if you look at this distance right here, this is basically the exact spacing of how big the onion will get. So that's why you see this perfect kind of clustered in spacing here, which is really, really nice.
I've got a weird one here that's got a double neck. It like split and it's growing like two ways.
Oh, wow.
It has like two onions basically in there.
Maybe two starts.
So, I don't know. Something weird happened here, but this one definitely not going to be for curing. It's going to be for eating.
What I've found is the bigger the onion, sometimes you get these monsters like this one here. There's a bit of like a bulb deformity going on here. It almost looks like it's trying to become more than one bulb.
Yeah.
And the neck doesn't break as easily. To your point, it's better for cure or fresh eating than curing.
I feel like last year when we grew big onions, what happened was that the neck was like super wide like this.
It was big.
So then they didn't actually store that well. But this year the onion's big and the neck is small. So they should store really beautifully. And actually that's a really nice onion.
That's a
right
nice
there.
onion. Look at this. The reds are kind of doing what you were talking about. So a little bit bigger
Oh,
here.
yeah.
But also this just needs more time.
Yeah, that's
Just
just
needs a
not
little
ready.
more time.
But this one,
It's close,
Just
but
started?
I'd
You
even
wanna leave it?
I'd even leave that. Jacques, not bad.
how about it all?
I think yours is bigger than mine. Let's get these on the wall. Jacques, we're here at what looks to be a failed crop.
Yeah.
But it's garlic.
Yes, and it's actually not a failed crop. We have pulled one. I think people are going to be surprised by what they find under here.
There's some monster heads. Now, I will say we did have a problem this season with garlic rust. Frustrating, but fortunately it didn't kill this crop off before it actually matured.
Yeah, it actually didn't hit until after the scapes. So that last month probably didn't have too much of an impact.
Yeah, and this is hardneck garlic, guys. So the scape is that flowering stalk that'll form, which if you're growing hardneck garlic for the bulb, which hopefully you are, you would cut that off. And so what Jacques saying there is basically well after the plant has probably developed a bulb, it started to die off to the rust, and it would be dying off anyways because it's at the end of its
Exactly.
season. So I don't know, we've got quite some pulling to do.
Yeah, let's get to it. All right, so are we just yanking here?
Yeah, let's just yank.
The old classic yank.
See what we get.
I mean, not the
Oh,
most
no.
impressive, but it's not bad.
I already messed up.
Maybe the yanking move isn't gonna work.
This is some hard soil over here.
Yeah, so one thing that we did is we turned off the water. You can see how dry it is. You wanna turn off the water right before your garlic's ready so it doesn't rot. But it also makes it really hard to harvest.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I mean, look at that. So here's
not bad.
here's what I'm troubleshooting, Jacques, when
Yeah.
I'm doing this. I'm saying, where's the paper at? And the paper, of course, is that sort of skin, that silver sort of skin around it. And it's starting to flake off, which means we should harvest this ASAP.
100%.
And I'm not seeing any like root death. I'm seeing a little bit of
Yeah,
root deaths here.
actually,
Like,
it's
look
not
at this. You've got a little root death, but then you've got some nice whites, which means we're probably at the right time to harvest.
And we can't see the cloves, so the paper's at least covering it, so that's a good sign.
Okay, I'm losing.
Yeah, I'm gonna get something.
gonna get
I'm gonna get something.
Okay, I'm gonna try to pull one without and just see if I get lucky here. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is pretty good, but we are seeing that separation. So some of these we're gonna have to troubleshoot and see if we can store them or not.
So we've got a weeding tool, and we've got a tiny little trowel. Between this, I think we'll be able to get the garlic.
Got a nice one right there.
That's a nice head.
Yeah.
Now the real question is, which one do you want?
Honestly, neither.
I was hoping I was gonna get
You
that.
want that? Here, you take it. You went and got it, so you get to pick the tool. Ah, there we go. No, I think it's just,
my God.
that's huge.
Dude, what is this?
Whoa, that's a monster.
I think it's multiple heads.
It might be, no, you know what? It's, yeah, this one tried to come out and
Yeah.
go over.
Whoa,
This is
weird.
nice little cute head.
That's
though.
a cute one.
That's a cute one.
It's a keeper.
So with garlic, there's a lot to know. We've made quite a few videos about garlic, but what I would say is it is, Jacques, to me, an easy crop. It's all in the prep. Wow,
100%
those
all
are
in the
good.
prep.
It's all in the prep. And we've done a couple experiments here in warm climates like ours in San Diego growing hardneck garlic, as we mentioned. Those guys need to be vernalized. They need to go into a cold area, which of course in normal people's climates would just be outside. But in our climate, that doesn't work. So we have to put ours in the fridge for a couple months. And that's what we did here, which is why you actually got good bulb formation before the summer came.
So I ran into a problem with my garlic this year. Every year there's always something. What I ran into, oh, I lost one, is that basically I thought I was watering enough and I thought that there was enough sun, but both of those were not true.
That just wasn't true.
So I put it in a place that didn't get enough winter sun, which slowed it down. And then it was such a dry year this year that I just didn't adjust my watering enough. So overall, it wasn't a terrible harvest, but most of them were like this size, maybe a little bit bigger.
I
take
planted
it.
mine, as we can tell, in the backyard mostly this year to avoid garlic rust, because I got it in the front yard last season and that didn't quite work out for me. But sometimes it's about the idea behind it.
Yes.
Because the garden's going to do what the garden's going to do sometimes. So this is what happens when you plant a couple. Oh wow, look at this, Jacques. I got bulblets
Oh,
for the first time.
actually it would be interesting. We've
Look at
never
that.
tried growing from them.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a kind of a fun experiment.
A rare occurrence, but it can happen. So these are basically individual cloves forming off of the bottom itself. So you can see it's not just like an extra deformity. It's a totally different part of the plant. Pretty interesting.
So I'm getting some monsters over here. Look at this.
Holy.
That is a proper head
There's
of
some
garlic.
very thick-
I did not
oh.
get any this big this year.
Yeah, see, this is what can happen sometimes. You'll get the skin will kind of wear away and you'll get this Frankenstein looking thing where all the cloves basically tried to sprout. So you can see this is technically 5 different garlic plants that all kind of failed to thrive. So we don't really want to keep that. This is why I like to plant extra, Jacques, because you really never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, no,
And
absolutely.
This variety of garlic that we planted is not super expensive. So you buy 5 pounds of it, plant it out, you're in a good spot.
So any of them that split like this, where you could already see the cloves, I'm gonna try to set aside. These will be the ones that go into the kitchen first. I'm actually gonna take some of these home. I don't know if Kevin knows yet, but
Go ahead. Hey, I got some to spare this season. So
yeah,
you're
that's
good.
for sure. But yeah, they're just not gonna store anyway. So you either have to process them ASAP or you just have to eat them ASAP. So what's crazy is that we've only harvested like
Not half.
almost half.
So this is your garlic scape that Jacques was mentioning. Typically what it'll do is it'll curl like that on the plant, just like this. And that's how you know your garlic is getting close. You cut this off, harvest it, fry this up. You can take this off if you want. Chop this into pieces, fry it up. Pretty nice little treat.
Yeah, it tastes like garlicky green beans.
Yep.
I feel like on this side, the papers aren't set as well.
No?
Like as I'm going down, there's a lot more broken papers.
I think we just had really moist clay here.
Yeah.
And so what you see is you see this start to flake
just
away.
from the water. Yeah.
But like you said, what we'll do at the end, probably on a different day, is audit all of them and say which papers are good for long-term storage, which are not.
Maybe a big freeze dry session.
Probably, yeah. I'll do some olive oil. Maybe I'll do some powders.
So here's where it's getting a little bit odd.
I would say this section probably got hit with that rust a little too.
It
Little
looks
too
like
bad.
this might be soft neck over here, and they are all forming weird. So here's what is happening inside this weird garlic that we were looking at. It's starting to split up. What I would do with this is what I've done in the past is you just cut all of this up right here, and you could eat it all. Even though this is technically the paper, it's still soft enough that it's not a problem. But there's basically not an actual clove in there. So there's no point in storing this. You either eat it right away or you get rid of it.
So there's Jacques' haul, at least one of his. Mine needs to be sorted over here. So let's get this on over to the harvest table, Jacques.
Oh yeah. Well, we got some true monsters in this harvest. I don't even know if that's the biggest one.
This onion is large, but it's not even close to the biggest one, to be honest with you. And actually, Jacques, below us, there's about double the harvest.
Yes.
We couldn't fit it all on this table. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. We wanted to take you into the garden with our hands, POV, show you exactly what we're thinking as we harvest. We might do this with some chores as well. If you're interested in growing garlic, which to me is probably the highest reward on this table, check our garlic playlist out right here. You can actually pre-order garlic bulbs later on this summer from us at botanicalnterest.com. And until next time, guys, good luck in the garden and keep on growing.